everyone. It's a pleasure to have you all here for a special episode that's dedicated for National Science Week. That's an Australia's annual celebration of science and technology, and that started from yesterday and will go on till 18th of August. So it's a week-long celebration, and we here are joined by two amazing women in STEM from our South Asian community. So we will be talking about science, life, and what it means to be here today, and share some experiences with each of you. Before going into further details, so let me introduce myself, Dr. Muneera Bano. And for me, it's a special pleasure because most of the time I'm on the other side of the mic. So I'm really excited today to just, sit back and listen to what you two have to say today. So just a bit of introduction for those from the community who don't know. I am a senior research scientist with Australia's National Science Agency, CSIRO. I'm focusing on the area of responsible artificial intelligence and innovation. And I had the honor of being in this show with various other roles that I carried as one of the superstar of STEM for Science and Technology Australia, as well as in the 40 most influential Asian Australian in 2019. So I today being on this side and now asking questions from other and learning from their experiences, it is one of it's really I'm excited about it. Just a bit about the National Science Weeks. This year theme is species survival, more than just sustainability. So this theme is basically focusing on the critical role that science and innovation will play in ensuring the survival and thriving of different species in our ever-changing world. That includes humans as well, but we are talking about an entire ecosystem that how sustainable it will make. So this theme invites participants to explore a wide range of topics from disease-causing organisms to life-saving chemicals, clean water, photosynthesis, genetic screening, and artificial intelligence. So Rifat, you are on notice as well. There will be questions from you as well. And with over 1,000 events that are happening across Australia right now, within this week, including virtual tours, webcasts, do-it-yourself experiments, and a lot more. So this is a fantastic opportunity to engage our community as well within the STEM professions, because to me, as I always maintain, STEM education is a privilege, but STEM education is empowerment, especially for women. So without further ado, I think I would give more time today to my guests here. And I will start with Dr. Munazza, if you would like to introduce yourself a bit and, your little bit about your, background and current role in STEM.
Yeah, thanks, Muneera, and thanks for having us. I'm Dr. Munazza Imran, a medical doctor. Not practicing. Then I've done my postgrad in psychology from Monash, and now working in research. So yeah, as you can see that I have been through many lanes of STEM in my life, not just one. So yeah, I've switched careers around. And I'm from Pakistan. I'm a mom of four, single mom of four for a while now. And yeah, I think I am survival personified. STEM women.
Okay, that's amazing. We will have a lot more, I think, to talk about the resilience that's needed within your role in STEM. Over to you, Rifat.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Muneera. Thanks for having me. I'm Dr. Rifat Ara Shams. I'm originally from Bangladesh and now residing in Melbourne, Australia. I'm a postdoctoral fellow at Australia's National Science Agency, CSIRO's Data 61. Here, I'm working on diversity and inclusion in artificial intelligence. And I completed my PhD from Monash University in 2022 under the Faculty of Information Technology and the Department of Software Systems and Cybersecurity. So my research topic was the human values in software engineering. And before coming here in Australia, I was a university lecturer back in Bangladesh, and I taught computer science and engineering. That's pretty much about me, I think.
Okay, thank you, Rifat. So I think let's dive into a bit more about your STEM journey, like what inspired you to choose this field and what are your passion that keeps you within this field. A bit about like both of you came to Australia in different ways, but you came here international student, and Munazza, you arrived here later on. You became a student here. So I mean, just to shed a light on your journey, where you started, how you ended here, and how STEM played a role in it. Let's start with Munazza.
Okay, then. I would like to, because I think talk about two topics which are really, really close to my heart, like related to STEM, but representation and the importance of scaffoldings. And representation is first because, I feel like since forever, and then I'll relate it to my life as well, how it sort of plays a role in your life. I feel like there's not enough representation of STEM women in the media, has not been for the longest time. Like recently it's changing, but historically speaking, women of STEM were either not represented in the media at all, or if they were represented, it was a bespectacled, confused, nerdy character that everyone else was making fun of. So that was your STEM character in most media for the longest time. And I think and it's proven with scientific studies, because when in the 90s the X-Files came out, and the character of Dana Scully, and it's changed. Like they've done studies about it, that post X-Files and Dana Scully, there was a rise in the number of women joining STEM. And in the study, women interviewed, 63% of the women said they were inspired by the character of Dana Scully, because she was the first smart, savvy, glamorous woman, a doctor, a medical doctor who was helping FBI. So she was not nerdy. Nobody was making fun of her. She was an awe-inspiring STEM character in the mainstream media for the first time. And you can see that one character inspired a wave of women, which has been scientifically proven. So I think that so representation is very, very, and we've always had gorgeous women in STEM. Like even this was 90s, but even back in the 1940s, Hedy Lamarr, like she was known for being the most beautiful woman in the world. But her other achievement, which went unnoticed and which is far greater, she was the inventor of Wi-Fi technology. So nobody talks about that until recently. So that's what I mean. Like you need to show that women of STEM are as diverse as any other cohort. And anybody can be cool, glamorous, nerdy, sporty. You can be a woman of STEM in any shape, form, size, or color. So, and then going back to a personal level, I was the first, come from a highly educated family. Like my papas and all were double MAs and MEds and everything. But I was the first female doctor in my family. And my father, and that brings me to the scaffolding part of it. I always wanted to be a doctor, and everyone sort of told my father, because back in that relates to the South Asian diaspora as well, that, shakal kharab ho jayegi if you let your daughter go into medicine, shadi kara do, because there was lots of proposals. So the wisdom was quickly get her married off, and then life will take care of itself. But my father, he was like my scaffolding. And scaffolding, just to be clear to people who are not aware of it, scaffolding is your supports in life. It's like any building you can't build without a foundation. So these are the people who provide you the support to rise in your life, let you do things you could not have done on your own. So my father stood by me. I was the first female doctor in my family. And then since then, I have so many cousins younger than me who are doctors. So there's the Dana Scully effect in real life for you. And and post then my life in Australia, when I separated, and the usual wisdom is you separate, the next thing you do is find that quickly you find the second man you can find, or you know. So I did not go that way. Again, thanks to my education, thanks to the self-respect and esteem my parents had instilled as an educated person, I chose to take the harder path, so to speak. I went back to studies, went to Monash, and I did my postgrad and found a job here. And again, like for me, I was just doing survival, like the theme of the week. but I cannot tell you the number of women from our community, South Asian community, who have come up to me and they've said, Munazza, you don't know, like how, and it's like, it makes me emotional. It's like how much that has inspired us. Because like I went against the grain. I did something that usually women don't do. So, and I did not
So
shy away.
amazing.
So,
It would have been hard. I mean, you are presenting it as like, you're talking is as a matter of fact, but I can see that it won't have been an easy path for you to choose.
no, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was like the road less traveled, so to speak, but so worth it. So I feel like
And
if I did not have that education, I did not have that support from my family from the start, if I wasn't a woman of STEM, like maybe I would not have been that confident in taking that road. So I think your education empowers you in a way that nothing else does.
Wow.
that's really brilliant. Rifat, what inspired you into STEM? Your journey from Bangladesh here to Australia. So tell us about what's going on in the background.
Well, so I should go to my childhood, I think. So at first I wanted to be a pilot. So after some time when I got to know about computers, so it amazed me. I always wonder, I mean, how come this little device can do so many things, so many amazing things? That time even I didn't know, okay, human created this. This is not even comparable with human intelligence. But I was, I got into it. So I thought, okay, let me explore this one. So it was the first time, I was interested in STEM. And I must say, so my same as Munazza to you. So my parents, I would give all the credit to my parents because both of them came from science background, and my mom's teaching in all the science courses like physics, chemistry, biology, mathematics. She taught me till my 10th class. Though I was not good in biology, I failed in my college in biology, but I fell in love with mathematics. So this, I think, this is the first time I think, okay, I should move to, some technology related courses. And the third thing, which inspired me most, this is the freedom my dad gave to me. Of when Munazza, what you told, that people, when usually parents think about daughter's marriage, that
Yes.
time my dad kept telling me that you need to pursue your higher studies abroad. And that when my university admission time came, my parents gave me full freedom that whatever subject you chose, we are okay with it. And so I chose I always followed my own interest. I chose information and communication engineering. And once I started my bachelor, that time, yeah, there were very many courses like computer sciences and different communication related course. But I found my interest in computer programming, etc. So later, I was in teaching for 5 years in Bangladesh, and I got my interest, and I was looking for any opportunities for PhD, and I got a position in Monash University, and here I am.
Okay, that's amazing. So just before moving on to my next set of questions, so Munazza, you did talk about uh, these some of the the pressures that women have, like
Oh,
there is an expectation to get married, so the career goes in the background for women.
oh, for sure.
I also, being from Pakistani origin, like I meet some young girls who have aspirations for a STEM career to go into like hard sciences, but they cannot, like somehow they cannot fight against their parents. You both talked about the support that came within the house from your parents, and that's fundamental of building the confidence.
Yeah.
But the societal structures where that support is not there and the passion is there. So is there anything you can comment
Yeah,
on that
for
part?
sure. And that's where we come in. Because, like, I'm the sort of person, like, there's people who are running after spotlight and there's people running from spotlight. So for the longest time, people had been approaching me and I was like, no, I don't want to go on stage. I don't want to go on camera. I don't want to talk about it. Because like, I'd rather be in the back. I'd still help people, but like in the back. And then one day, like just an epiphany. And then I was like, I talk about, and I do help people, and I talk about all of us doing our personal best. And if, maybe just like listening to me, seeing me on there helps some people. And I think I'll shout out to Noreen Chaudhary. She was a big part in that. She was the one who's like, Munazza, you have to, like, it's not a choice. You just have to. So, and then, so I feel like, yes, women like us who have been, who have been through the journey, we're at a certain point. So for younger women, people who are starting out and everything, or not even younger, I'll say people, starters, they can be of any age because journey can start at any age, where they don't have support from their family like we did. I think we can be their support. We can be their support in many ways. Like what we're doing right now, just being visible that, yes, women can do this. It is achievable starting at any point in your life, early, late, middle, whenever. And B, like, if you need someone to talk to, we are here. If you need like pointers, we are here. So I think there should be, and if I think going one step further, we should even have an organization or an online setup or something that for women to, reach out who don't have that kind of support from their own families.
Rifat, have you come across such cases, or would you like to add?
Yes, I think I can talk about Bangladesh. So I think situation is changing now. It's changing rapidly. So it is not the same of what it was like decades ago. So now everyone is very careful about their daughter's education. So people are getting highly educated these days. Yes, there are less people in STEM, but this situation is also changing. So
Yeah.
I think, family support is, of course, very important. But besides, I think women role model is also important.
Very
So
important.
yes, so if somebody can see, okay, there is a role model, a woman, a rising star who is, doing great in technology or engineering, or why cannot I? So
Yeah.
role model is very important. And another thing is what Munazza mentioned. I also agree that networking is a big support. So if we have a big women network, I mean, why cannot we support each other? And another problem I found while I was in school or college, so, sometimes people thinks friends, they consider friends as competitor, but this is not the case. You always need to consider them as collaborator. So this is
One of my favorite things that I've read on social media is when women help women, great things happen. And I am the strongest
yes,
believer in that. And
I agree.
yeah. And I like personally, I think the society has always known how strong women collaboration can be. So they have set us up against each other. Like, don't let them become that strong.
So I think next, for both of you, this time I would start with Rifat, that coming to Australia as an international student from as a woman of color and within a STEM field, which is here in Australia pretty much a male dominated, as well as what we were facing in our countries as well. So did you have what kind of challenges you faced, being that intersectional diversity that you had, or is there any way how you overcame those challenges?
Well, so the first challenge I faced was language. My first language is Bengali. So though I studied in English medium where all the books were written in English and everything, but still we used Bengali all the time. So after coming here, the first problem was language, and still you can see I'm not that fluent. I'm working on it. I'm trying. But and another problem was Aussie accent. So it is pretty easy to understand American accent or British accent, but Aussie accent. The first time I heard, oh my God, it was like, okay, I cannot understand anything. So I had a really hard time there. But there was a English club in at Monash University, so I was member of that club. So it was at first it was pretty difficult, but over the time we could somehow overcome it, because in that club we usually talk to people. It was pretty casual, but we had a practice of talking, communicating, regular conversation. And there are many resources these days. There are many online resources, many tutorials, so people can work on that. And if I come to the cultural background, so I think, I am South Asian woman, I'm a brown Muslim woman, I wear hijab, but honestly speaking, I never faced any problem here in Australia about this. All of my colleagues, all of my, fellow colleagues and friends, they were very supportive. And Australia is a multicultural country. So I think people here respect other culture, other religion. Yes, I understand there are some exceptions, but the exception cannot be an example. So I
So
didn't
how
face
much
any
how
problem.
much of how much of that you would attribute to the academic environment, because you were in a place where everyone is educated, they understand, other cultures. Uh, so the the workspace that you were in, it might be different from a private sector or other
Or
industries.
yes, I think I think so. But another,
Mm,
it is not actually a problem. I would say I faced another challenge that
mm,
was kind of academic curriculum, or you can say educational structure. This is pretty
mm,
different in Australia than in Bangladesh. In Bangladesh, it was more like kind of bookish. And you have to face
mm,
examinations, and every now and then you need to score good. But here, when I came here and I started my PhD, I had to take 3 courses, and I found, okay, it's totally different. Like all assignments,
yeah.
brainstorming, different sessions, presentations, etc. So at first it was a bit challenging for me, but not that much. You can cope up with the help of the teachers and your friends. So these are pretty much, I think.
I
Yeah.
think that's a really optimistic and great view we are giving to the potential international students who wants to come. That
And another thing,
yeah.
sorry, I should say that this is a little suggestion for the international students, that
Mm,
always talk to people. And if there is any opportunity for any leadership role, please grab that. For example, in my PhD, I was an ambassador of STEM Sisters. We worked for the empowerment of women of color. So if you get any opportunity, please grab that. Don't worry about your language, your different
mm.
cultural backgrounds, but it will gradually improve. Your language will gradually improve, but you need to work on
Yeah,
it.
yeah. That's a great suggestion. Vanessa, what about you?
Yeah, so just taking a segue from that, like that's a great point, Rifat. And like I think Australia is a bit like Hogwarts. Help shall be given to those who ask for it. So ask for help. Yeah, so it's like honestly, do not feel conscious. Do not feel. Aussies are like honestly one of the nicest people on earth, and I'm saying this like from personal experience. And there's no shame in seeking help, in asking questions, in, like Rifat said, going for a better role if you think you're deserving of it. People will actually encourage your efforts. People will actually appreciate you for, speaking up. And I think that's a great quality we have here. So that's about that. And what was the original question, Muneera?
So,
Is it?
as an immigrant woman of color within STEM, so what challenges you faced, and
Yeah. So because
what's your suggestion how to overcome them?
yeah, so I like I said, for example, because I came here as a landed PR and I was not working back then and not allowed to work actually, but that's
Yeah, so
another
you came
story.
in a different way than Rifat, because I think Rifat, you came
Yeah,
as
but
international
yeah,
student. So,
International student,
my
yeah.
my part of it would be that once I started like and that like I talked about it a bit earlier as well, that there is no age, time, marital status or anything for when you can get back into your studies, when you can get back into your career, and it's never too late. No gap is too big. You can always get back on track once you have the intention for it. So yeah, once and for me it was like Rifat had problems for different reasons. For me it was, I had never studied online before. Like all my education was books and Grey's Anatomy in my hand and all this and that. And now if I'd taken an online course because of my maternal, responsibilities and stuff and everything, I had to do a very intensive course, GDP, online. And it was full on, it was online. So I had never done online. I had never taken an examination online, and I had never, so it was a whole new world, literally. Apart from the subject matter, the system, getting used to how I had studied before and how I had to study now. It was like literally French to me, everything. And so I was in a way a novice all over again, baby steps. And but that's how I said, like, people here are great and they understand that. And my professors, everyone was amazing, I think. And I asked questions.
This whole thing is so inspiring that we come with a different language, a different educational background, and then still as a woman in this country, if you make your mark and you achieve, that means it would have taken few, I would say 4 or 5 times harder than if you were born here with the English was your first language. And I think that's something to applaud, and that's something to really appreciate. Give yourself some slack, those who don't. But some people, they think that they're not good enough. But think about it, that you left the comfort zone and you came to another country. You're learning the language, you're learning the culture, you're learning a new educational system, and then you are getting successfully graduated. So that's really a big achievement. And I think all of those who, especially doctors, but also others who graduate,
everyone. And that's the thing, everyone has their own challenge. Rifat's was language, mine was system, everything. But that's the thing, and that's where talking to others, that's where coming together is helpful, because we just have, all of us have our things. It's just like we might be this or that, but it's like you can literally, there's no reason to give up when you're living in a country like Australia. There's always options for you. And
exactly. And to making more friends, not only with the same country, but you need to make friends from other countries as well, so that you can understand their language, their culture, their food. Why not?
Everything. So it is just, and not just that, like for me also, because of the fact that I was in a relationship where I was told all the time that you're not good enough, and and the typical male chauvinistic thing. So for me, just although like my parents had filled my self-belief and esteem to the brim, but like so many years of being told that now whatever you are through a certain person, not on your own. And so in addition to the studies and the system and getting used to itself, it was also the lack of self-belief. And I think that's also very important for a lot of women. If anybody hears this and isn't like, if you think all of us started out this confident, no, we did not. Like when I came back, I was full of self-doubt. I wasn't sure I'll be able to do it. I wasn't sure. But the thing is that I did not stop. I was like, doesn't matter however bad I will be, I'm going to give it a go. So
that's the confidence. That's the spirit. Wow.
So, following from this point, I would ask both of you. So, reflecting on your careers now, where you have, just like you talked about it, the confidence gradually builds up, and now we reflect back on our life and think about certain moments in our life that either change the course of your career or anything. So, what was that one moment that you think with such pure pride that it brightens your day?
Munazza?
For me, like, and it's funny because they asked me that question in my job interview, And
I'm not doing the job
Yeah,
interview. I'm
I
asking
highly doubt.
you for.
and like and you're on the spot, and then I was like, and I had an online interview as well, but he was there and I was there, and I was like, we were like this, and I was like, and I thought whatever I said then, I think still holds true, that although my first degree, like medicine, is literally proven to be the hardest degree on earth, right? MBBS. So that was my first degree, the hardest degree, da da da. But like at that point in time when I did that, I was a young, energetic person, full of self-esteem. My entire family, so my parents, beautiful parents, support and everything. So all I had to do was concentrate on my studies for that degree. Whereas when I did my second degree, which was GDP in psychology here in a new country in Monash, I was facing so many challenges on so many levels in my personal life, in like my professional life, in my academic life. It was like I was walking through a minefield of hurdles just to complete that degree at that point in time, fighting my own mental health as well, like too many issues. So looking at the comparison, I think I would rate that as being more of an achievement than my actual first degree, which maybe holds more weight. And then, having said that, my proudest achievement is my 4 kids still. So,
Amazing.
And for me, when I was a first year PhD student, PhD journey was, it's not that easy. It's always a bumpy road. So many ups and downs. So I was a first year student. That time, even I had some health issues. I had to go through a big spine surgery. So all of this sometimes, but it's good that I have a very supportive partner. Whenever I need to cry, I get a shoulder to cry. But the moment all the sadness went away when my first research paper got accepted in IGSE, the leading software engineering conference. So that moment, oh my God, even I didn't expect. It was my first research paper in my PhD, and it got accepted in IGSE. At that time, I thought, okay, if I can get my paper published in IGSE, then I can do anything. So that's the moment, everything changed.
and Muneera,
For
at this
me.
point, I have to bring you in. You have like your journey is like a stellar journey. Could you please
Yes,
quickly have your journey as well?
just Rifat was talking about her PhD, and I think the day I graduated, I still like whenever I remember my graduation day of PhD in software engineering, that just still like sometimes I get tears in my eyes because
Yeah.
that was the day I later on whenever I win an award or something, I call it as the breaking of the concrete ceiling day. Uh, Unlike you two talked about, coming from a family where there was clearly an education was important. I come from a family, it's a bit conservative from the northwest of Pakistan. I was born in Islamabad, but my mom was not allowed to go to school because of her gender, and it's because of the cultural setup that was there. And none of the women in our family, there was no female role models to look up to. Especially I was given an opportunity to go to school. It was like, unlike my brothers, for me it was a privilege. But that like gradually you grow up and you realize that you have to find your own path. So there may have been, and then coming to Australia, wanted to do PhD, that took a lot of mental, I would say, courage, resilience, trying to jump into something unknown. I would say
So who was your
literally
scaffolder?
unknown.
Did you have a
Of
scaffolder?
course, my father, who didn't put those cultural constraints in front of me like others. Um, my mom herself, she didn't go to school. She didn't understand especially explaining what PhD is to my mom was very difficult, because she always talked about when is your exam, when is this going to finish, and telling mom that it's a research and it's a different
It's an
kind of
ongoing
degree.
exam.
uh, that was really like, but at the same time she became my tool of empowerment. She didn't put the cultural constraints. other friends, I saw their moms were looking for, a eligible bachelor for their daughters at that time, and she realized that I'm more interested in studies. So there was no pressure of that kind. So that support came from the family, just like the two of you were talking about. But then, being the first woman having a PhD in software engineering here in a male-dominated field, to me, I think that was the day. I still, whenever I look back, it's kind of, really brightens my day that, okay, that was the highlight of my life. That something, if you set yourself upon, no matter how hard it is, if you know that why you are doing it, you can overcome anyhow.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, so that's, I mean, I think it
Amazing.
resonates with you guys as well, that we all came with some purpose, we developed some
Yes.
resilience over the way, and it
Yeah.
gave us the enormous confidence that after that, okay, anything that you want to set yourself upon, you can achieve.
That's
uh,
amazing. Yeah.
Exactly.
so I would get back to you two now. Okay.
That was important. We could not leave you behind, Muneera.
Who's 40 under 40? Most influential women. How can we leave
Yeah.
you?
Our
That's
decorated
that's
academic,
one
how
of
can
my
we leave
honor,
you
yes. So, what message would you give to young STEM professional, the new immigrants, international students coming, or those who coming on spouse visa, like Munazza, you? They have some of education or tertiary degrees back from Pakistan, India, or Bangladesh, but coming to a new country, how to adopt? What kind of message would you give, both based on your own experiences? So,
Okay.
Rifat?
Okay. So the first thing I would say, people usually think that science courses are not easy, it's not interesting, but actually it is. So, but actually it is if you can really get into it. So give a try, and and you will find that this is very interesting. But there is a but also. So if you have interest, then only come. You need to find your interest first. You need to find your passion. For example, if you love painting, you don't need to be an astronaut. If you love computer programming, you don't need to be a photographer. So find your passion first, follow your shadow, follow your interest. That's the thing. And that another point I mentioned previously, that consider your friend as your collaborator, not competitor, and always try to give some nice and kind words to the other women, or other friends who want to come to the STEM field. For example, I got a title from one of my fellow, I would say, teacher, Rashina. She during my PhD, she used to call me powerhouse, my
Yeah.
powerhouse girl. So you know this word just completely changed my views, my confidence. It made me so confident. And one of my colleagues from my previous workplace in Bangladesh, he used to call me Iron Lady. This is just two simple words, but it increased my power, increased my confidence so much. So
Hmm.
I would say spread positivity, help your friends, make them your collaborator. Don't be shy. Always talk to people, make friends from other countries as well. And of course, last but not the least, follow your interest and your passion.
Munazza.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that. That aptitude is the first thing. You have to, first of all, be sure yourself that you want to do it. And as long as, and that is the first and the only requisite, that really, that if you want to do it, A, and B, don't give up. Because, like I said before, especially in a place like Australia, if plan A doesn't work, there's like B, C, D, and up until Z. There is so many ways to reach where you want to go. Like literally, it is a country which promotes education for all genders. So do not think you don't have opportunity. You do. So have an aptitude. Don't give up, and then baby steps. Sometimes, like, the biggest thing that I've seen that people give up on is they set the bar too high. Like, oh well, I have to reach the end of the steps. No, don't look at the end of the stairs, look at the next step only. and this is like from my psychology background as well, the importance of baby steps. Set a goal that is achievable. Achievable goals make all the difference. So don't beat yourself up about it too much. Just set a small goal at a time and don't give up. Know what you want, and eventually you'll get there. Ask for help. All of us are here. There's lots of people like us. We would love to be of help. So, yeah, I think.
And
Thank you
another
for
point I should add, take care of your mental health.
Yes.
There are a lot of support here in Australia. In all the universities, they usually students can get a free counseling. So if you face any problem, or if you feel upset, depressed, you don't know whom to share, please seek help. Go to the university, maybe talk to anybody and to get help from the professional counseling service. Please take care of your mental health, because this higher education, like master's by research or a PhD, this is a very difficult journey. So
Exactly.
I mean, life is more important. Health is the most important thing than any other else.
Yeah, and that's what I
that's
meant.
really
Like,
important.
yeah, the thing about help is it's there's not just help for your education. There's all sorts of help. Like literally, you as a human being you're celebrated here, and we should be thankful for that. And literally, at regardless if you're at an educational institution, if you're working for an institution, all good institutions have their HR departments, they have the mental health department, they have their career development. So just ask for help, like literally for anything. It's there.
Okay, that's really amazing, and I think it's one of the important things to for those who go through the cultural shock. We did talk about coming to a new culture. It's a lot to take in, and then you have studies, especially if you are in a PhD. That's research. It's a mental work. So you need to take care of your mental health as well as physical health. So
Yeah, and
that's
also,
really
I don't know,
important.
Muneera and Rifat, if you agree, the culture we come from, there's a lot of shame in asking questions. In South Asia, it's like you
Yes.
hesitate to ask. It's like you're already supposed to know everything. And if you ask, you will be judged as less intelligent or something. That's not true.
Also, I think there is a cultural connotation of disrespect if you question authority or someone senior than you, or you in a group if you are blunt in asking questions. And I think Australian culture gradually teaches you that it's
Encourages
okay.
Yeah.
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 So
It's
there
more
is
important.
actually really nice comment here. Can you all see? This is from they're talking about nice to see the powerful scholars in the community, and hopefully you guys will inspire more women to more forward in STEM, science, education, and engineering fields. Moreover, we can break this chains that women from Pakistan do most pursue their careers in these fields, and good luck for shining. Thank you so much for
Thank
this
you.
nice comment. And I think, do we have Munazza here with us?
I think we lost Munazza.
Yeah, because now I think this was going to be a really nice one to go towards the chai, because we are here in chai. We already had a bit of good chat. We had the community, so I have my kind of. So yeah. So Rifat, asking you, you are doing your research in artificial intelligence. So what? First, I would like to ask you a color of the chai that you prefer.
Dark milk tea.
Dark. Okay,
Dark
you do
milk
want to put
tea.
the milk, but it
A
has to be dark.
Bangladeshi authentic dark milk tea.
Okay. And so for Munazza, you're back.
Oh, Munazza is here.
We lost you for a minute.
Blackout. Yeah. IT is not
Okay,
very
so
nice to me, Muneera.
so you were able to hear what we were saying, or should I repeat it for you?
No, could you please repeat that? Thank you. Yeah. I was
Oh, we just moved to the final part where I really want to talk about chai, because we are in chai chat community. We already did the chat. We did talk about our community. The chai part was left out, and I can't, I have a closure problem, so I had to address all three.
all of
And so Rifat likes dark tea, but with milk.
Milk tea.
And what about you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, has to be like in the olden days in Lucknow, the description of tea was labraise, labdos, labsos, like which is labraise is full to the brim, Labdose is so hot that it burns your lips, and labdose is so sweet that you can't move your lips. So not my cup of tea. My cup of teas are really hot, strong, dark,
Oh, so you both like really
without
strong,
sugar,
dark.
without sugar
Okay.
as well. So
So
yes,
let's put a fun fact here. So the personality traits of the people who like dark chai, not scientifically proven. So that's where the science that you guys are going to bring from your field. So you are bold and independent, just like the strong flavor of your dark chai. You tackle challenges head on and aren't afraid to stand out.
Wow,
So,
I'm honored
okay.
and a bit confident as well.
guilty as
Okay.
charged.
So, what do you say this reflect your approach to problem solving in your STEM fields? Rifat, you go. Artificial intelligence and dark chai.
So, what was the question? I mean, how can this?
How your dark chai
Your
helps you in
personality.
problem solving in your field?
Okay, this is what we discussed just now. That you have to be confident.
Yes.
If you
Okay.
have lack of confidence, I mean, how you can break this concrete ceiling? So the first thing you need to be bold, you need to be confident, and then you can solve all the problems.
Yeah.
So
So
you always
there's
need
a
to
strong cup of chai in the morning
strong
before
cup,
research.
strong milk tea, strong milk tea. The Munira, the tea you usually take, that's not a tea at all. So
Okay. I
please,
haven't said about my tea.
I know you personally.
Okay.
So,
So Munazza, how your medical background and your psychology, what do you say about
Yeah,
your chai
medical
and how it impacts
psychology.
your STEM?
My medical psychology
Mm.
and research, like I said, like all the alleyways of STEM. So yeah, I think, and this is like again when back in Pakistan, uh, I think it naturally, because I think because we just said personalities, so I was always the student who asked questions. I was always the one, the hand up. And in back in the South Asian culture, that's not very encouraged, shall I say. And so, and if like you did that and everyone was like, oh, why doesn't she just let the lecture end, and why is she prolonging the time by asking questions and stuff? But like, didn't stop me back then. And similarly here, I feel like I'd speak up, and I think that makes such a difference. And sometimes just by staying silent, we become complicit in the existing problems. So I think the fact that if you have the confidence, if you have the personality and the knowledge for any field of life, and you feel that you can contribute, so I think do that. Speak up, get up, do something. Don't just, waste your
Well,
talent.
that's amazing. Just a cup of tea can, come up with
all the
so
credit
many
goes to your
inspirational
directly,
ideas.
Munaza.
So just a bit of, I would say that I'm not a chai person to begin with. Like I came to Australia, I adopted the coffee culture. So I would always prefer coffee, but just like Rifat was saying, not dark or, long black or anything. It's always skinny flat white with lots of milk and extra hot, extra hot. That's the key to keeping it
That's
to have
that's
it for a
that's an
longer time.
almost
Yeah.
chai. For us, Manira, that's an almost chai. So it's not.
Yeah, yeah, it's you get the flavors of both sides,
Yeah,
you get to your roots thinking that you
yeah.
have a chai in the mug, but it's actually an Australian
So,
Melbourne based coffee.
so
So
what does that
So has
reflect?
the
What
personality.
personality
Yeah.
wise?
a light chai, not the coffee, would
Mhm.
be preference for light chai indicates a gentle and optimistic nature. You
Oh,
enjoy
well.
nurturing others and find joy in little things.
Okay. What
Now,
do you
now
think?
turn that into coffee and think that I said it in Australian accent. So, I think with this, we should ask both of you any ending remarks you want to share with the community and about the Science Week or STEM, anything that comes to you casually, you can just share. And we can let you all go and have a good Sunday night. It's Monday tomorrow. So,
Unfortunately.
there always is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Rifat, you want to go first?
Okay, so the last thing I should say that if any of you, I think many people are listening to me. So if any of you, if you think that I can be of any help, so please reach out to me. I'm available in social media, in Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. So please reach out to me. I'm happy to chat. And let's build a
That's
strong
amazing.
community of women in STEM.
Okay, that's
So, yeah,
absolutely brilliant.
yeah, totally agree with that, Rifat. And I would just say that it's a wonderful field. And like, there has never been a better time to be in STEM than now. It has always been wonderful because, like, what's not to love about finding out our universe, why we exist, what's happening, latest technologies, and everything. And if you think like, oh my God, that's too much, it's not. Like, once again, how we said, baby steps. If you have the interest, just like, it is not that difficult. It's extremely interesting, and it gets more and more interesting the more you get into it. So if you are thinking about it, go for it. And like I said before, ask for help. There's plenty of that around. And just like, yeah, the sky's the limit.
Okay. So
Thank you,
so
ladies.
much.
This has been so
Yeah.
much. This has been amazing. I've been listening and
Oh,
incredible.
and
For bringing us together.
Yeah.
so this
What
is
does
over,
my
right?
chai say about? I have very, very light Earl Grey tea, or what in Bengal, in West Bengal, India, we have first flush, which is the first leaf. What does that say?
The light chai is the same as, I think, preference for light chai indicate gentle and optimistic nature.
Nobody's
you
told
enjoy
me I'm
nar-
gentle, but thank you. I'm
Muneera being gentle, I can roll with. Salia being gentle, no.
Okay, so what's your Salia? How did it go?
Fantastic. Loved it.
Okay,
Thank
I mean,
that's good.
if I was to study STEM, I tell you, you would be my role models.
Oh,
Awesome women. So proud of you guys.
Thank you, Salia.
Okay, we'll
Thank
give
you.
you.
Yeah. Thanks for giving us the opportunity,
This
and I really
yeah,
enjoyed
thanks for
asking
having us.
questions. That's more fun asking questions. I should.
Yes, Muneera. I was tempted to just go in and say, Muneera, I'll take over now. We need to hear about you. But
So
thank
I
you
read
for
your
doing
comment.
that.
Yeah. So then I was like, I'll bring her in. Yes.
Okay, we'll give the rest of the evening back to you. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
And
thank you so much,
by the way,
everyone.
we are all the
Thank-
Desi brainy chicks, all of us and more.
Yeah. And
Thank you.
let's
Yeah,
get
I
together.
think you can share the link there as well for others
Oh,
I
to
will.
watch and
Yep.
share. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Take
Good
care.
night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.